It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They go play action here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. To the right side, and he's got more, complete. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. Room here to run. The 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run. He was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And there was so much that was impressive about this play, but it wasn't just what he did downfield. How about what he did behind the line of scrimmage? This wasn't a play where he just had a direct path to get him downfield and make the big play. He had to adjust on the fly behind the line of scrimmage, and in the end, that became a tremendous run.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll run with Gibson. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Now a play fake here on first down. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And some space here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. The 71 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This a 43-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Second and 1. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Ravens 10, Washington nothing.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Odafe Oweh in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Ravens have got it.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether it's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Chase Young able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. After the sack here, 2nd and 11. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 12-yard line.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Jackson on 1st down. It's complete to Brown, right side. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
But that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Dobbins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker now to add the point after. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And all the way down to the 26. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. He'll drop to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
You definitely would have liked to have hit on that one, because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And some room to maneuver. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts. Understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. They'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. They'll go. It's Gibson. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run with Gibson, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And Washington has made this a 1-score game. A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On 3rd down, Jackson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Looking for Andrews again. He's got him this time. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 39. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Jayon Brown. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Jackson to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Once more, Gibson. Bulldozes past him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A big play that time through the air. 39 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Gibson. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will tie our game here in the 3rd. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll roll him out. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
56 yards on the ground for him so far.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Back to throw here. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And Washington has taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead.
17.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Catch is made by Hardman. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
They find some open field here. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will tie our game here in the 3rd. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back.
And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. Gibson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's an excellent stop right there here in this tied game. They're doing their best to hold the fort and at least force a field goal attempt.
Gibson again, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And Washington has taken the lead. The point after is good, and they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Got a man, it's Brown. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pick up there.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
On second down now, it's Gibson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
He will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield field, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson, flush to his right. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Now Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's moved.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Second and 11 now. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10. Back to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to almost certainly win the football game. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw again. This one left side caught by Gibson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll make it a second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And he pushed it. Pushed it from short distance, wide right. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And Charles, of interest here, that last throw is going to put him over 20,000 yards passing for his career, and that's not a bad number.
You're exactly right about that, and even though it's nowhere near the top of the leaderboard, because when you think about it, Brady and Breeze, they've done that 4 times over. But when you hit 20,000, let's face it, only a little over 100 guys have ever done that in the NFL. It's worthy of some applause.
Jackson. Dobbins with it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. On the return is Duvernay. And able to get this out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. First throw in overtime now for Jackson. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. Now, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
Not a big deal on that one. Just your everyday 67-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Washington, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall back to 500 at